that's it for the Toronto Maple Leafs season. Out in 5 games to the Columbus Blue Jackets. I predicted 5 games. I knew it was going to be close, and the Jackets were the better team during the series. We're really going to dive into the Toronto Maple Leafs and why they're out again for the 4th straight year. Even if you can consider this a first round exit, I don't know if you can. Out for the 4th straight year in the first round, I guess. And what's next for this team? What do they got to do to fix it? And can they even do too much to fix it in the situation they put themselves in? There's so much wrong with this team right now. I want to dive into it. And please go down below in the comments section. Let me know your thoughts on the Maple Leafs, what they got to do. Please, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts, and I'll definitely try to reply to all of them. What do they got to do for the future? Why did they lose this series to the Blue Jackets, who are 27th in the league for goals for? And why couldn't their offense produce? We're going to talk about all of these stats in this episode. But if you guys are new to the channel, go down below, hit that subscribe button. That would mean a lot to me. And yeah, like I said, leave a comment, and hopefully we'll hit 200 subscribers soon. So NHL playoffs, round of 16 start tomorrow. I'll get a prediction video up on the channel in just a few hours, so stay tuned for that. But today, let's talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs. Nothing seems to be changing for the Toronto Maple Leafs team. Like I said in the intro, 4 straight years that they've been out in the first rounds. And like I said, I don't even know if you can consider this the first round. I wouldn't consider it the first round. They didn't even make the playoffs this year, let's just say. Out again, and it's the same thing. Now, I'm not a Leafs fan, so correct me if I'm wrong, but this year, was it easier to take than maybe last year against the Bruins? Because when you played last year, in my opinion, you guys blew it. You had 2 chances to take out the Bruins. Game 6, you had a chance at home, had the lead, couldn't do it. And then Game 7 against the Bruins in Boston, you guys played your worst game of the series. So I understand last year you guys were probably pretty heartbroken, but this year you guys just were not good enough to play with the Columbus Blue Jackets. And just like the first 4 years of the Toronto Maple Leafs team, kind of the new era of the Maple Leafs, it's still the same issue as they had year 1, and that's obviously the defense. They go out in the offseason, trade with the Colorado Avalanche, Joe Sakic, acquire Tyson Barrie and Alexander Kerfoot, and give up Nazem Kadri, Calle Rosen, and a pick. And at the time, I was criticizing that trade from a Maple Leafs standpoint because I said Barrie was not going to be able to solve your problems defensively. He's not a defensive defenseman. You guys needed a shutdown defenseman, and you go out and acquire an offensive defenseman in Tyson Barrie. This is how bad the trade was. Alexander Kerfoot, outperformed all Maple Leafs expectations, and you guys still lost the trade. Kadri, great season in Colorado, and Tyson Barrie is now turned into a bottom pair defenseman for the Maple Leafs. I'm sure Leaf fans are going to be absolutely thrilled to get him off the team because he had a nightmare season. And who even knows if Kyle Dubas is going to be able to go out and acquire a defensive defenseman this season. I thought he was going to do it last year. I'm sure everybody thought he was going to do it last year. And now everybody's like, oh yeah, slam dunk, they're going to do it this year. But why should that have changed from last year when we expected them to? I can't see it unless, Kyle Dubas does do something. It's a flat cap. We'll talk more about that later. But I don't even know if the Leafs are going to be able to go out and acquire a defensive defenseman because they haven't done it the past 3 years when it's being clear that they need to do it. Now, it wasn't even just the defense that didn't come through in this series. Toronto Maple Leafs top line, we all know the story, $33 million just into 3 players, John Tavares, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner. They were playing most of the game for Sheldon Keefe's Maple Leafs as that top line, and I gotta admit, they did look pretty good. They were flying, they were buzzing. They obviously didn't score. The Columbus Blue Jackets' entire offense is worth $40 million, so it's only $7 million, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are only paying 3 guys $33 million. The William Nylander contract is not that bad, but if you're paying Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, John Tavares, they better produce come playoff time. One stat that I did see that I was shocked by is that the Columbus Blue Jackets outscored the Toronto Maple Leafs in 5v5 10-3. Like no 6-on-5, no power plays. 5-on-5, the Blue Jackets outscored the Leafs 10-3. And the last 5-on-5 goal that the Maple Leafs did score was midway through Game 3, and that was 18-year-old Nick Robertson, who apparently, to Sportsnet commentators, has the hardest shot they've ever seen. So, I mean, I got to admit, he did look pretty good, but, I mean, you cannot rely on an 18-year-old to produce your offense in his first couple games. And the Leafs are paying guys like Mitch Marner $11 million to not perform in the playoffs. And, the Leafs stars, Austin Matthews looked okay. Mitch Marner had a horrible series. He was barely noticeable. I would say the same thing for William Nylander. John Tavares looked good at times. He wasn't good at other times. John Tavares has got to score that empty net. He hits the post. You can't be missing opportunities like that. But I guarantee you, you give Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane that opportunity, they're burying it all the time. They're going to be burying most of the goals. Look how well they performed against the Edmonton Oilers. That's a team that finished 25th or 24th in the National Hockey League during the regular season. They get to the playoffs and they're beasts. They beat the Edmonton Oilers, obviously, because they perform in the big game situations come playoff time. I don't see Mitch Marner doing that. I don't see William Nylander doing that. I don't even see Austin Matthews doing that to an extent. And, you cannot expect to pay a player $11 million if he's not going to perform in the playoffs. I mean, I could care less if you put up 90 points compared to 60 points in the regular season for Mitch Marner. He was horrible in the playoffs, and that's got to change if the Maple Leafs expect to do anything come playoff time in the future. The drive from the Maple Leafs star players as well was just not there, and I don't even mean just blocking a shot. I mean, the Sportsnet showed Austin Matthews blocking a shot off the shin pad. Like, yeah, that's great, but you are expected to do that come playoff time. I mean, every player should be blocking shots in Game 4, Game 5 of a do-and-die series here. I mean, that's not anything special. I'm talking about, the odd time you might have to dump the puck in, you might have to forecheck, you might have to retrieve pucks in the corner. I don't see Austin Matthews, Marner doing much of that, and I mean, you gotta do that if you expect to advance, and the Leafs' fourth line was doing it, but Sheldon Keefe didn't want to play that, and Mike Babcock wanted to do that. I mean, Babcock obviously did a lot of things wrong as the Maple Leafs head coach, but at the same time, in my opinion, he wanted the team to play defense. Dubas, Shanahan, they didn't think that was the Leafs' style of play. He wanted them to play defense. He played the fourth line quite a bit, and yeah, some Leaf fans say he played it too much, but there was obviously a reason for that. Babcock's not stupid. It's not like he hasn't been in the game for the last 30 years. I mean, he knew what he was doing, and Keefe didn't play the fourth line at all, and in my opinion, at times, they were arguably the Leafs' best line. I'm doing Zoom sessions with an AHL assistant coach right now every Sunday nights, and he said something that I kind of wrote down, and for me it was obvious. I'm sure for you guys would understand it as well. I think it's obvious, but the quote was, I believe that you can have all the talent in the world, but you can't abuse it. And I think at times you're seeing guys like Matthews abuse that talent. They're just dumping the puck in. They're not forechecking hard. And, you got to do that come playoff time. As for goaltending, Frederik Andersen was obviously pretty bad during Game 5. I thought he had an up-and-down series up until that point. And, again, you can't come through in a series-clinching game. He's now 0-8 in series-clinching games in his career. It's just not good enough. That's been a massive criticism about Tuukka Rask, is he just can't get the job done when he needs to. I remember Game 6 against the Blackhawks, Game 7 against the Blues this past year. Did not perform, and that's for a Stanley Cup. Andersen can't even get his team past the first round. I think he only had 19 shots in game number 5, and that second goal, I think that just broke the Leafs' backs right there. I mean, that was awful. He cannot score. Liam Foudy cannot score there. I thought Foudy was going to produce more in the series than he did. I thought he was buzzing, but that one cannot get in. And to Andersen's defense, the Leafs let him out to dry. I mean, that was a dump in. The Blue Jackets dumped the puck in, and I believe Justin Hall went for a change, left Marty Marincin out there on the ice to deal with 3 Columbus Blue Jackets players forechecking, something that Leafs got to do more often. And, it was a 2-on-1 off a dump in, and then Marincin kind of messed up because instead of just taking the shot or taking the pass, he just played in the middle, and Andersen had to worry about the net drive, and he had to worry about the shot. A quick shot by Liam Foudy that probably should not go in. Andersen should have it 10 out of 10 times. But, I mean, yeah, that was a bad play by the Leafs defense. What's new? And Andersen's got to make that save. Now, this could either be a very busy offseason for Kyle Dubas and the Toronto Maple Leafs, or it may not be busy at all. Obviously, tonight, draft lottery, second phase of it. We'll see who gets that first overall pick. If the Leafs do win, good for you. I don't think it's going to help at all. I mean, this guy's going to be another offensive piece. He's going to be up in 3 years, and he's going to be asking north of $10 million, just like Matthews, just like Marner, just like Tavares. You cannot have 4 guys over $10 million on the offense alone, and maybe that allows Mitch Marner to be expendable. But at the same time, what team is going to go out there, get an $11 million contract on the books? Mitch Marner cannot produce in the playoffs, and the Leafs are not going to be able to just get rid of that $10 million. I mean, teams aren't going to be able to take that on, especially since it's a flat cap this year, I mean, I don't know how long it's going to be a flat cap for. We'll have to see. It's not going to be an easy fix, even if the Leafs do get Alexis Lafreniere, and Mitch Marner's not going to be easy to get rid of. I mean, what defensemen have a big-time contract like Marner's that's over like around $11 million? All I can think of off the top of my head, Drew Doughty, Erik Karlsson. Do the Leafs want to trade Marner for a Doughty or a Karlsson? 30 years old, 7 years older than Marner, and they're obviously on the decline for the past couple of years. I don't think the Leafs are going to do that, so it's not that easy, even if you think, yeah, we can just get rid of a guy like Marner. I don't think it's going to happen. Another move that could happen for Kyle Dubas and the Maple Leafs, maybe you guys got to look at trading Frederik Andersen. I know he's played really good for you guys over the past couple of years, but like I said, 0-8 in series clinching games. That's not good enough. You can't expect to win a Stanley Cup with a goaltender like that cannot perform. Maybe you need to change your scenery like James Reimer did, and I'm sure there's another goaltender in the National Hockey League that's in the same scenario. So maybe you make a swap like that, pick up another good goaltender and bring him in. But I mean, it's just Toronto. I don't know what to say. It seems like it's the same story. James Reimer wasn't the option. He needed a change of scenery. Now he's killing it in Carolina. Now it's happening with Andersen. Defense has been awful for the last 4 years, and I don't know what the fix is. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens tonight and in this offseason for the Maple Leafs. That's going to be it for this episode, guys. Go down below, hit the subscribe button if you guys enjoyed, hit the like button if you guys are looking forward to the draft lottery tonight. I'll have a video up tomorrow, hopefully on my my thoughts on the draft lottery. So I'm excited. Thank you guys again for watching. We'll see you guys in the next episode.